the structure, we're going to talk first about the structure of the 25 marker, and then we're going to plan the 25 marker. So for the structure of the 25 marker, we need a point. Well, we need intro. We'll talk about when we're doing it. We need a point. Okay. We need obviously to explain that point. Yeah. Evidence for that point. Then we need to counter that point. And then we need to evaluate it. Then we need to link back to the question. And we need to do this 3 times, right? So this is the structure for a regular 25 marker. And now we're going to go through the plan. So for the plan of the 25 marker, the question is local issues is the most significant reason for rebellion during Henry VII's reign. So first of all, I'd write down all the rebellions during Henry VII's reign. So let's talk about Lovell in 1486. We're going to talk about Lambert Simmo in 1486. We're going to talk about the Yorkshire Rebellion in 1489. Perkin Warbeck he was like from 1491 to 1497, and the Cornish Rebellion 97, Cornish Rebellion in 1497. So now that we've outlined all the rebellions during Henry VII's reign, let's talk about the reason for all these rebellions. So first of all, the reason for was a challenge of authority. Lambert Simmo was also a challenge of authority. So I'm going to put it like this. Yorkshire Rebellion was increase in tax, fund war in Britain. The Perkin Warbeck was a challenge of authority. And the Cornish Rebellion was local issues. So, now that we've categorized it, we have 3 challenge of authorities, 1 local issue. This can also count as a local issue, but it's mainly could be foreign policy issue. Now that we have all our rebellions and the reasons for the rebellions, we're going to outline which one was the most significant. So for me, it would be which one comes up the most. So challenge of authority comes up here, challenge of authority comes up here, challenge of authority comes up here. So it's the most significant reason for the rebellion. Did we address the full question? Yes, because we also talked about local issues. Here, this is a local issue, and this is also a local issue. So now we have our structure for our 25 marker. Now let's look at our points. So point 1 would be the reason for most significant reason was local issues. Now our explain, let's say it gathered the most support. Our evidence would be Cornish Rebellion in 1497. Our counter would be reason for rebellion was short-lived and did not pose a threat. Not significant. And then then your evaluation here is, this is what brings you to level 5. Your evaluation here is, so local issues was a reason, but the most important / significant reason was challenge to authority. Then we obviously link. So right now we have our point, evidence. Point 2, which I'm going to fit onto here, would be, let's say, foreign policy threats. So, was funding of foreign policy. So, foreign policy funding. Or explain would be funded rebellions, most significant. Or evidence would be Perkin Warbeck. And it could be Yorkshire, because it was due to funding war in Britain, which is a foreign policy. Our counter would be signed treaties with France. And then Yorkshire Rebellion was due to local issue, bad harvest in 1488. Or evaluate, somewhat significant. So this reason is somewhat significant due to the fact that basically it was not a big threat and not many rebellions occurred. So aim was with foreign policy. And then we link. So now we have our point, our evidence, our explain, whatever, and we have our link. Next, for our last one, which is our, what we're arguing, so we've been building it up, yeah? And we've been saying in our evaluation and in our counters that we need, the main sole reason was due to challenge to authority. So point 3, we can say challenge to authority. Main reason for rebellion and most significant. We need or explain most. So talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 rebellions caused with same primary aim. Evidence would be Lowell, Lambert, and Perkin Warbeck. Our counter could be that all pretenders were lacked English support, so not significant. But our evaluate, most significant, biggest effect, and biggest threat. So yes, it was most significant reason for rebellion. Yeah, because Yorkists, rebels. And now we have our first paragraph, second paragraph, and third paragraph. For our conclusion, we're going to mention everything we mentioned, like our first, like, yes, it could have been this, it could have been this, but this is the most significant. And in our introduction, we're also going to do the same thing. We're going to say,